إذا أحببت يكون عندك، إذا أحببت يكون دورك. على المهم إذا جيت هو مفتوح. عرفت؟ بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. أما بعد. The question says, ما هي شروط صحة عقد النكاح? With regards to marriage and a marital contract, getting married in Islam, what are the conditions? What are the things that have to be done, that have to be present, that have to be presented, that have to be fulfilled? And if they are not done, or if they aren't present, or if they aren't fulfilled, then the marriage would be haram, first and foremost, and consequently the marriage will be invalid. The marriage will be invalid. It's very important for us to understand when we listen to khutbahs and lectures and classes, when we read and study, that we have to understand the terminology, what is actually being said. When something is a shart, a prerequisite, a condition, it means something specific, and there are specific consequences or fruits, pros and cons that follow. So once we say something is invalid, things follow. Once we say something is valid, things follow. Such an important topic like marriage, when you say that the contract is invalid, the marriage is invalid, the conditions have not been fulfilled, then there's a list of rulings that now come into reality. Such as if they are together intimately, if there's a child, is there divorce, is there inheritance, how do they break up, how do they become remarried, do their children, their offspring, their family members become mahrams, etc. There's a whole list of rulings that come into effect when a man and woman are together and the marriage was invalid. So when we say that it's haram, that means they did something which was unlawful and they disobeyed Allah and His Messenger, and now they deserve sin. They deserve sin. يستحقان الإثم. They're now sinful. And also, anything that they were looking forward to is fruitless. Alaykum salam. So this man had feelings for this woman. He had affection for this woman. They were attracted to each other. And it was a fitna, them not being married. So it says we want to get married to stop from falling, not to fall into zina. We want to fulfill our desires in a permissible way. That was something they were looking forward to. Them being together is not halal. Is it zina or not? But it's not halal. It's not halal. So what they wanted is no longer reachable because it's invalid. Also, anything that they wanted of children, we want to have righteous children that belong to us, invalid. There's a child that's born is not necessarily a legitimate child. وَهَكَذَا. So when we say something is invalid, this is what it means. And all of the things that you're looking forward of that act or that practice, you can't get anymore unless you fulfill the conditions and the prerequisites. And this is the importance of learning the basics of the religion. Sitting in a class, reading a book, listening to fatwa, the people of knowledge, taking 20 minutes, 30 minutes out of your day, an hour out of your week. If you work, if you have children, you have business, you're sick. Everyone has some type of free time that they can use to sit down and learn the rudiments, the fundaments of marriage, of buying and selling, the fundamentals of riba. I'm not a finance expert. It's confusing, but I know basic things with regards to the banking, basic things with regards to buying and selling, the basics. And then when something specific comes up, I pick up the telephone and I call. A specific situation comes up, I go to the masjid and I ask. But I already have the basics locked down. Okay, so with regards to getting married, what are the things that have to be fulfilled in order for that marriage to be valid, in order for that marriage to be lawful? The Mufti that we have with us this morning, he says, هي أربعة شروط. He says those conditions are four prerequisites. Not five, not three, but he says that there are four. Four things that you must have, and if you don't, then the marriage is invalid. Also, we understand, according to this fatwa here, is that which he did not mention does not necessarily have to be done. Or even if it's mandatory, it isn't something which is a prerequisite. Something that will prevent the validity of the marriage. giving the mahar to the woman is mandatory, but it isn't something which will prevent the marriage from being invalid. She can say, I haven't decided yet. Think about it.